What do I even say? Oh. Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. Like मैंने लाइफ में भी कभी नहीं सोचा था कि मेरा भी एक YouTube चैनल होगा, but here we are and I have so much to talk about. Like on Instagram, it's really difficult like to put your entire perspective, where you're coming from, where that thought is coming from, in just one video of 90 seconds or 120 seconds. So I thought of making a bit longer video. So for the context, this video is going to mostly be a life update kind of a video, like explaining what I'm going to do in future. Like now that my graduation is over, what am I planning? Am I going to take a job or am I going to do post-graduation? Like I'm going to tell you every single decision that I've taken and also why I have taken that decision. So you guys should know that why I'm thinking the way I'm thinking. So for the people who are new here or watching me for the very first time, hi everyone, I'm Akanksha. I'm a food technologist and I'm also an Ayurvedic nutritionist. And now that my graduation is finally over, let's start with the what I'm gonna do in future stuff. First of all, we have the career choice. So when you come from a family who does not have a business, you are either left with two options. You either take a job or you build something of your own, like a business or a startup. And I had decided this a very, very long time ago that I do not want to do a 9-to-5 job for sure. And this is the story behind it. I was doing internship in R&D department, like in research and development department of Mapro. And I think it was honestly the coolest internship like anyone could have. And this was literally my daily routine there. Get up, get ready, have breakfast, go get a bus, then reach the R&D center, work. Then again, take a break, go have lunch, then come back from the lunch, and again work, then again get up, and then again go get a bus, and go to home, and get dinner. And by the time I used to reach home, it was 8 p.m. and I had literally zero energy left inside me to do anything else. And this was literally the life of everyone who was working there. They used to work from 9 a.m. to literally 6 p.m. every single day, 6 days of the week, and then go and do it all over again the next week. You used to only get holidays on Sunday. And honestly, me on Sunday, I just wanted to sleep in because I was just exhausted doing the same thing over and over every week. And maybe this is somebody's dream job, to work in a research and development department in a very, very good brand like Mapro. And it's okay. It's totally okay. No judgment on that. It can be somebody else's dream. But for that 1 month, I kept asking myself that, is this the way I want to live the rest of my life? Aksha, are you sure this is what you want to do for the rest of your life? So I kept asking myself this for that entire month. And honestly, I was numb. My entire life flashed in front of my eyes. That was a moment that I decided that this cannot be my life. Like, I cannot live like this for the rest of my life. And that's when I decided that I want to build something of my own. Something healthy, something meaningful, something that feels like me, something that makes me feel that I'm living the purpose of my life. I also want to tell you guys this, that if you're about to choose your career paths, make sure you at least experience a little bit of it and ask yourself, is this the thing you want to do the rest of your life? Otherwise, you will regret it later. So when I decided कि मुझे job तो नहीं ही करनी है, फिर मेरे पास सिर्फ एक ही ऑप्शन बचता था, that was building something of your own. फिर मैंने दुनिया को वो एंटरप्रेन्योर की नजरों से देखना चालू किया. And honestly, it happened automatically. I didn't force it, but the ideas or the brands or the services that I can provide or I can use to bridge the market gaps really started to pop up in my mind like out of nowhere. So अब life sorted थी, like job नहीं करनी थी, and I had really crazy brand ideas that literally had potential in market. But अब question आता है कि when will I do this? When will I work on this stuff? Because my mom was really convinced on this one thing that Akanksha, you have to do MTech. Like do whatever else, do whatever the if you want, but get that master's degree. I was like, okay, अगर वो convinced नहीं हो रही है तो I'll just appear for GATE. So I appeared for GATE, and by God's grace, I literally qualified that exam. And that even became a greater problem for me because now everyone was expecting me to take admission in NIFTIM or ICT or IIT. My teachers, my parents, literally everyone. And I was thinking that now I'm 22 years old. By the time I get the MTech degree, I will be 24 years old. So when will I experiment on my brands? When will I work on them? This because trust me, I'm speaking from experience. I have done content creation while I was doing a degree and it really becomes hectic. The degree, it sucks this living soul out of you and it will leave you with literally no motivation and no energy to work on some other stuff. And this was literally a master's degree. So I got even more scared. And now I was thinking that if I take internal for the masters, then I won't be able to give 100% to all my brands or whatever I'm thinking to work on. So I took the decision of doing MTech because honestly it was my mom's wish, but external. So when I disclosed my entire game plan to my parents or my teachers that I was not planning on doing an MTech in a very, very reputed college that they were expecting me to do. And instead, I was also going to work on all the brand or product ideas that have ever crossed my mind. They were like, are you crazy? Because this was not something they were expecting from a topper girl, from the girl who has literally been the most sincere since the school. But somehow मैंने अपने mom dad को convince कर लिया है because honestly I had to. So I decided that I cannot waste 2 more years doing the same thing I did for 4 years. I just cannot. Because I know for sure that if I don't listen to myself now, then I will and I am going to regret it for life. And life के 2 साल in your early 20s बहुत ज़्यादा होते हैं. I think now is the right time. My mind is literally bursting with ideas. I have that delusional and I also have a lot of audacity filled in me right now. And if I don't do this now, then I don't know if I will ever be able to do it. फिर मैंने सोचा कि भाई मेरी life है and if my mom dad is supporting me, then I don't give a fuck about what anyone else thinks. I don't care. So I don't want to be the wrong influence or show you guys just a good side. So if you're thinking that I did all of this without overthinking or without planning first, then you guys are wrong. So this is not some kind of a plan B, but this was everything I did so that I could freely and independently take this decision for myself. And if you're thinking that I can just drop out of college and go build brands, definitely you can. It's your life. But you have to make sure that you are not troubling the other people in the process. And I've been planning all of this since a year now. 4 years, everything I did so that I could be my own boss. A year ago, I started content creation and I look at it not just as a skill, but also as my personal brand. And if you're going to run a business or you're going to be an entrepreneur, you're stupid if you're not building a personal brand right now. Because they say people buy from people and there has to be a platform where people can see what are your ethics, what do you stand for, what is your story. So I started creating content a long ago so that I could build my personal brand. And I also started building a community. Along with that, I also started earning a little bit of money through brand collaborations. So now I think I'm on the right track. Second is the GATE scholarship. Honestly speaking, I never studied for the GATE exam just because I could take admission in good college. I knew that if you qualified GATE, you get a scholarship of like a really good amount, that too monthly. So adding both of this, content creation money and the GATE scholarship, I was thinking that if my parents were not convinced by my decision, I could just take all of this money and move out. But touch wood, none of that happened, and my parents are now really supportive of my decision, and they trust me and they trust my hard work. Call me privileged or just a good planner, whatever. So if you're someone who is on the verge of taking your most important life decisions, do not forget to overthink it. Do not forget to overthink the good, the bad, and every possible outcome there is gonna be. And here are some of the tips or whatever you can say, gyan, I want to give you guys from whatever I have experienced up until now. one is study yourself. Like, you should know you. Like, you should know what you really, really want from life. Second one is, if you don't know, expose yourself to literally all the possible experiences so that you can experience what you really like or dislike. Third one is, make a game plan. Do not live your life on autopilot mode. I literally have my next 2 years sketched out in my journal. If you're yet to graduate, start collecting the skills from right now. Start collecting resources, money, knowledge, followers, whatever you're going to need in future. Use all the privilege you have. You're intelligent, use that. Confident, use that. Pretty, use that. You have father's money, use that. You have connections, use that. You can use it to get there faster. You don't have to sit there and rot. Be delusional and just trust your gut. If you have food, if you have roof over your head, if you have your mom, dad's support, trust me, you have nothing to lose. So just go for it.